everyone, my name is Shauna in case you know, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is another video in my Daniel Radcliffe series, and this is one for a movie that I wasn't looking forward to watching because it didn't look that great, but I had to watch it because Daniel Radcliffe's in it. This movie is Playmobil the movie. Yeah, you heard me right, the iconic Daniel Radcliffe was in a movie about Playmobiles. Playmobil the movie was a little better than I was anticipating, but it still wasn't the greatest movie ever. I didn't fully hate it. It's just not one of my favorite Daniel Radcliffe films. This movie is a lot of different genres in one, so it's a children's movie that is action and adventure packed, but it also has comedy, but it's also a musical. I feel like when they were advertising this, they weren't advertising this super correctly, because I feel like the way that they were advertising this movie really didn't capture all the different genres that this movie is, and I feel like this movie's advertisement really used Daniel Radcliffe as a way to get more people to watch the movie, but I'll touch more on that later. So Playmobil the movie starts off in the real world. It's about this girl who has a brother and her parents passed away, so she has sort of taken over the parenting role, and there's tension between her and her brother because of the ways that she's parenting. So her brother runs away to go meet up with some friends, and when he goes to run away and meet up with some friends, he gets transported into the world of Playmobil. Main character's sister has to go rescue him, so she's in the Playmobil world as well. He gets kidnapped in the Playmobil world, and it's her journey trying to find him and rescue him. And this movie is a lot about sibling love, and it's just this whole journey of her trying to get her brother back, which I think is actually a really great storyline for a kids movie, and I think even for some young adult and adult content is a great storyline as well. So obviously this is Playmobil, so most of it is animated, but there is a scene in the beginning and a scene at the end where it's not animated, and everyone in this Playmobil world are actually Playmobil figures that are taking on the characteristics of the figurines that they are, you know? And so it has an interesting cast of characters, because with Playmobil you have all these little figurines and you can mix and match the sets. So there's all these different worlds where they're crossing over and interacting with each other, Vikings and Amazons and futuristic aliens, all these different interesting characters get to interact with each other. So it's sort of fun in that concept. I think it really captures the fun nostalgia of playing with kids' toys. I also thought this movie was also really cute in general. However, I feel like it's really lacking in depth, which I get it. Okay, it's a kids movie, it is going to be lacking in depth, but I've seen lots of kids movies that have more depth to it and have more deeper meanings to it. I felt that this movie was super cheesy and the humor felt very forced. I love when I'm watching movies and the humor feels natural and it catches you off guard, but this movie didn't do that. It was really forced and it was really over the top, but it is a kids movie, so it is something that kids would definitely enjoy. I probably would have found it entertaining as a kid. However, I'm 21 and I'm watching this movie, so I wasn't laughing at the humor, but I was thinking, yeah, if I were a kid, I would probably love this movie. I also feel like this movie was a major attempt at just trying to make Playmobil popular again. Playmobil was very popular when I was a kid. I mean, I had some family friends who had an entire attic space dedicated to Playmobil, a huge village, but I feel like Playmobil has plummeted in popularity. I never really got into Playmobil that much because honestly it was pretty expensive, and I was I'd rather play with Lego where I can fully take the pieces apart and play with them. I still have Legos. They're over there, you see? So yeah, this whole movie felt just a giant ad of trying to get people into Playmobil again. So those are my over thoughts on the movie, but let's talk about two of the actors that are in the movie. So let's talk about Daniel Radcliffe some more. Daniel Radcliffe's performance was awesome as always. He only has his voice in there, but he was really able to capture his character really well with just his voice, and I feel like it was a really fun role for him to do because he is playing a spy, so he has some very fun scenes, and it's a cocky, arrogant spy who has a fun catchphrase, Rex Dasher, you know? And so I feel like it was fun for him to do, but I feel like he was really just put in there to sort of get more attention on this film, which it worked because I'm watching it because of Daniel Radcliffe. His role was super small too, but the trailers and advertisements and stuff for this movie made it seem like he was gonna be the main character, but he's really not. He plays a very minor character. So the main character, let's talk about the actress, Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya Taylor-Joy has been really popular recently, and for good reason. I've only seen her in Emma so far, although I really want to see tons of stuff that she's in. I want to see The Northman, and I want to see Queen's Gambit. There's so much stuff that she's in that I want to see because I think that she's an incredible actress and she's been in some really interesting stuff. So she's the main character, and even though it was like a kids movie and it was really cheesy and stuff, I feel like she really went like above and beyond with her role, especially in that like first section of the film where it's live action before it gets into the cartoon. She has such a beautiful singing voice, and I've never heard her sing before, and she did so incredible. And I wish that she would have had more songs in here, because that would have been super cool, because she really is talented and she's a fantastic singer, and she really took her like role that's super cheesy and made it epic. She was like the highlight of the film for me. She really carried this film, and if it weren't for her, this movie would have been unwatchable. So overall, this movie was not my favorite. I think there was good things about it, but I also think that it is very much a kids movie that isn't a movie that crosses over different age boundaries. What I mean by that is there's lots of like Disney movies that are for kids, but adults can really enjoy them too, but I don't feel like this is one of those movies. I feel like this is a kids movie that is purely for kids, that it's hard for adults to enjoy. I would honestly be surprised if there was any adults that watched this movie that wasn't a huge fan of any of the other actors in this film that genuinely enjoyed this movie, because I don't think that would happen. This movie was like really short, so if you want a short movie, I guess watch this one. I will probably show this movie to my nephew, because I have a 1-year-old nephew, and like, it's definitely a kid's movie. It's something that he could like. Hopefully he doesn't beg me for Playmobil sets when he's older. I want him to be Team Lego when he's older, not Team Playmobil. Anyways, that wasn't really all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I upload 2 videos a week, so my next video will be uploaded next Tuesday. I hope all of you stick around to watch that video. There is another video in this Daniel Radcliffe series of mine that will be coming out in the next week or 2, and that will be about the movie Beast of Burden. So stick around, turn on notifications if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on Beast of Burden, which has a very different vibe from Playmobil the movie. I hope all of you have a fantastic weekend. Until next time, goodbye!